Hey, Hound Dogs, I'm David Hankins,
I'm Paul Hankins.
and you're on the air with Power Squared. This week we're going to continue our look at non-comic book things and talk about summer movies 2023.
Yes.
Summer season officially hasn't started yet, but the movies are already starting to come out. Guardians of the Galaxy. I always think of the Free Comic Book Day movie, which is always seems to be Marvel, as sort of the official kickoff of summer movies for me.
Yeah.
So we saw that. We liked it.
Yeah.
So now we're going to talk about the movies coming out for the rest of the summer.
Yeah.
And kind of give you our first impressions of it, right?
Right.
So this is Mother's Day weekend when we're recording this. And so the movies that are coming out are The Book Club, The Next Chapter. I don't see us going to see that. No. Hypnotic. I don't even know what that is. Rally Road Racers. Fool's Paradise. It Ain't Over. Still a Michael J. Fox movie. And The Starling Girl. The Michael J. Fox thing might be interesting. I don't know when they say it's Apple. I don't know if that means they're actually going to release it in the theater. It's just going to be on Apple, but we can't necessarily see it.
Right.
But anyway, that sounds like it might be interesting. He's a guy that's gone through a lot of things in his life.
Yeah.
And, you kind of remember him, from
Back to the Future.
Sure, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And just it's hard to imagine he's sort of as debilitated as he is now.
Yeah.
But still fighting through. Anyway, that might be an interesting, not necessarily uplifting, fun film, but it might be interesting to watch. The next weekend, we haven't got anything yet we really want to see yet. Fast X.
Or is it Fast 10?
Oh, I'm going by the X here. Robots, Sanctuary, and what does that say? Victim Suspect. Ooh.
Yours is a little different from that.
Oh, yeah. Sorry, mine's a little, the fresh off the press competitive release schedule. So, any thoughts on any of those? We've never watched any of the Fast and Furious, and I don't plan to start now. What a catch-up that would be.
Yeah.
Yeah, and would the payoff really be worth it?
I don't know.
Yeah. So, yeah. So far, well,
there are people, or I'm saying there are people who like the Fast and Furious movies because of how bonkers it's gotten.
Right. And it's also one of the reasons you see people doing donuts in intersections because they saw it in the movie.
Yeah.
So, bad movie for that. Bad movie. Anyway.
You get the squirty squirts.
So, yeah. Memorial Day weekend coming up is The Little Mermaid, the live-action version. Right? About My Father, Kandahar, The Machine, and You Hurt My Feelings. So, the big film coming out that weekend, of course, is The Little Mermaid.
Which I know is going to be bad just because it's the live action Disney remake and they're pretty much all bad.
Yeah, again,
all the ones I've seen anyway are just really bad.
You kind of just wish they would do something with all the money they have, something, I don't know, new.
Yeah.
But they're very much into the remaking it, and yeah, I don't. It's one of those again. What Gene Siskel said, remake movies that didn't work. Don't remake good ones.
Yeah.
And so they're remaking it again. It must be cheaper. You don't have to buy the story a second time or whatever. So anything else?
About My Father, the one with the ad that trailer we kept seeing with the peacock.
Yes, it is.
Okay.
Yes.
I kind of don't care, but I just like that.
Well, I won't say anything against it. Anyway, the following weekend, Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse Part 1.
Yes.
Right? And then The Boogeyman and Past Lives. And, okay, so that's it. Those are the three opening. Sorry. Spider-Verse, we're going to go see.
Yeah, for sure. Really liked Into the Spider-Verse.
Right. And we thought Sony really did a lot with the animation.
Yeah.
And so we're looking forward to that film. The Boogeyman, I don't really have any desire to see a horror film. That's what I believe it is. It's by the base. It's a horror film. All right. So the following weekend, there's only one movie opening.
Yes.
on 6/9, and that is Transformers: Rise of the Beasts.
Well, we already
We bought tickets to it, yeah.
for that.
So I guess we're gonna go see it. So that's a for sure.
Yeah.
Then the following weekend is Father's Day weekend. Excuse me. The Flash opens, which would be the big film. Elemental,
Which is the Pixar movie.
The Blackening, which is about the Metallica whiskey. No, I'm kidding. And Asteroid City.
The Blackening is about Juneteenth.
Yes, I'm sorry. I was just going for
The
bad joke.
Bad joke.
And it wasn't. Yeah. So anyway, The Flash, of course, is the film that will be the big one.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be so good that you'll forget that the guy is.
Yeah, you'll forget Ezra Miller's crime.
I liked him in the other DC films he was sort of in,
Yeah.
not knowing the history. What was that one where it was where it was all the superheroes together, and he was like trying to be faster than Superman.
Justice League.
Yeah, there you go. Oh. I thought he was pretty good in that. And then the extended version, they gave you more of the
Snyder cut.
Yeah, the Snyder cut, the 4-hour life killer. But that was the little Flash stuff there was pretty good.
Yeah.
What was it? Was it the first Justice? When we first saw the Justice League, we all missed where he met
Batman.
We all dozed off at the same time.
Yeah.
But anyway, so The Flash would be the big film coming out that weekend, and I wouldn't mind seeing it in a theater. The following weekend is No Hard Feelings, Asteroid City, and The Last Rider. Know anything about any of those?
No.
Okay.
I did want to say with Elemental,
Okay.
Pixar movie.
Oh, yeah.
You forgot, didn't you?
I sort of was trying to forget.
Right.
What about the Elemental?
Well, just that it seems like it'll be more unremarkable.
Yeah, it seems like they've kind of, I don't know, it sounds like they're kind of running out of original ideas sometimes.
Yeah.
I mean, so they had one where it was sort of all the things in your mind going on. Now it's
Inside Out.
Yeah, and now it's all they've done something like Soul was good,
Yeah.
but this just seems like a little trying a little too hard maybe.
Yeah.
And can water and fire live together in peace and harmony?
Yeah.
I'm going to say yes, they can. So we'll find out.
So moving ahead.
So back to No Hard Feelings, Asteroid City, and The Last Rider. Any thoughts about that?
Not really.
Okay. So there's a free weekend.
I was also given a reminder that Ezra Miller goes by they.
Okay.
So if we misgendered Ezra Miller.
Yeah, it was totally accidental.
Yeah.
I don't really follow Ezra Miller, so I wouldn't know. So, sorry if we offended them.
Anyway,
So we offended them, right? I mean,
yeah.
okay. That'd be the right pronoun to use. So the following weekend at the end of June is Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny.
So Indiana Jones 5.
Yes, Harold and the Purple Crayon. Ruby Gilman, Teenage Kraken. And Everybody. So, yeah, Indiana Jones. I will be the big film that week, but any desire to see it would be the question.
Well, after getting burned on Crystal Skull, I don't
Yeah, yeah, I know. It's kind of like you've already beat us over the head, and you're trying to drag the body away.
Yeah.
Yeah, I kind of thought they were supposed to be handing it over to a younger, which was too bad with Shia LaBeouf, but I just don't. Yeah, I'm not sure why they keep making these. Move on. Anyway.
Well, it's Disney. Disney has it.
Yeah. Again, yeah. It'd be interesting to kind of look at, so we have at least one remake and a sequel so far, right?
Yeah.
And it seems to be kind of a summary trend as well.
Rise of the Beast is a sequel.
That's true. That's 2 sequels then.
And Spider-Verse is a sequel.
So that's three sequels. You're just making my point for me. There's a lot of sequels that always seem to come out.
Harold and the Purple Crayon, I'm pretty sure, is based on the children's book.
I might go out on a limb and say you're probably right.
And Ruby Gillman Teenage Kraken is DreamWorks' follow-up to Last Wish.
Okay.
And The Bad Guys.
Okay. Absolutely.
I remember the trailer didn't impress
us.
Yeah.
Yeah. Those other movies were pretty good.
Yeah.
Especially DreamWorks. But it was kind of hit and miss more. Than
I mean, Ruby Gillman could be good, but I'm not sure I'm
on board yet.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, we'll see. All right. Then it's Insidious, The Red Door, Joyride, Sound of Freedom, and The Lesson.
No comment.
Okay. So that's the July 7th weekend. Let's say one coming out in July 12th, and that whole weekend. So it's Mission Impossible: Dead Reckoning.
Part 1.
Part 1, yeah. So then we'll have a sequel at some point, and that's the sequel itself.
Yeah.
So we have a sequel of a sequel, but the last few have been pretty good.
Yeah.
So we'll probably see that in the theater, right?
Yeah.
Then the Miracle Club and Theater Camp, which I'm going to guess is a comedy, yes?
I don't really have any comment on either of those.
Okay.
Then we have the 1-2 punch of Oppenheimer and Barbie.
Right. So blow up the world or whatever.
Some people are going to make it a double feature.
Well, I think Oppenheimer's like 3 hours long, isn't it? Or something like that. Yeah. Well, it's a double feature in itself. I actually would like to see Oppenheimer. It's coming out the weekend. I think we're going to be at Comic-Con.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure. I don't really have a desire to see Barbie.
For me, Barbie is more of a how do people feel first kind of.
Well, it's also maybe an HBO Max or Max Plus when it comes
just
out.
Max.
Isn't it Max Plus?
It's just Max.
Just Max. Okay.
Just Max.
All right. Because that's as plus as you need to be. All right. No. I feel like it was Hulu plus. Then we have Haunted Mansion,
which I assume is another attempt at something based on the ride.
Didn't they already do Haunted Mansion?
Yeah, and
yeah. Again, a remake.
Yeah.
All right. Talk to Me.
And Untitled Release.
Yeah, there's two untitled movies. You would think if they come out in July, they would be titled by now. So it's hard to know how to talk about untitled movies with no information about them. But we'll see. So, yeah, I'm not really into Haunted Mansion. I mean, the ride's okay.
Yeah.
Wasn't the last time we were on it kind of died in the middle or something? But
yeah, one time we
I'm not holding that against the movie. But
right, one time when we saw it, it broke down a little bit.
And this, I assume they're hoping for the same, Pirates of the Caribbean, make 5 or 6 of these if they could. But anyway. So then the following weekend is Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. The Meg 2, The Trench. Dreamin' Wild and Shortcomings.
I'm curious about the new TMNT movie.
Okay.
I know it's Seth Rogen, but it's like seems like another movie in the vein of it's a influence from Spider-Verse in a good way, like unique animation style.
Right.
The Turtles are definitely going for leaning more into the teenage part, which isn't the worst thing.
Right. They seem kind of mature for teenagers in the other movies.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So we'll see, and it's made by, I guess, the world's oldest teenager, right?
Yeah.
Seth Rogen. They used to be Dick Clark, but now it's Seth Rogen. Okay, so we'll probably see that, you're saying, in the theaters?
Probably.
Then the following week, we're already into August, Gran Torino.
Turismo.
What?
Gran Turismo.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Gran Torino is a My Hero Academia character.
Sorry, Gran Turismo. Sorry, I read it wrong. The Last Voyage of the Demeter. I have found there's more to that title. And then Jules.
I am mildly curious about Gran Turismo because instead of basing it directly off of the video game, they based it off of a true story related to the game.
Right.
Where someone who played Gran Turismo became a professional race car driver.
Right. Okay. So that's a possibility. Then the following weekend is Blue Beetle, which is another DC film.
Yes.
Is this part of the
I think it's part of James Gunn's vision.
That's pretty quick to get a film. Usually, guys come in and take over, and it takes a couple years to get the films out.
Right.
Because it just takes that long nowadays.
I'm just guessing it was probably been in development for a while.
Yeah. Well, so it's probably predates Gunn, I would imagine.
Right.
So that he's letting it go out.
Or it's coming out under his watch.
Right. Well, and that happens usually when you take over a studio, which I've never done. Strays, which I really have no desire to watch. The Hill, Back on the Strip, Landscape with Invisible Hand, White Bird, A Wonder Story, and Old Boy, a 20th anniversary park.
Something,
from Neon. But so, White Bird, A Wonder Story is a possibility.
Yeah.
Because we liked Wonder.
Yeah.
Which was a fairly good movie, and which we reviewed on the blog.
Yes.
So.
And I read the book.
That's right.
I read the original Wonder book, not any of the
novelizations or
spin-off material.
So that's coming out limited, and then the next week it's wide.
Yeah.
Wonder was actually pretty good. Also, we're coming up on the end of summer. There's White Bird the following week, going wide. They Listen, Retribution, Golda, which I assume is about Golda Meir, and Bottoms.
And how do you feel about any of those?
Well, if we've watched Wonder Story, White Bird, A Wonder Story, that's probably it. I really don't, and I'm guessing Golda is about Golda Meir. I don't know. I would say, summer's over. Yeah. So here's a question for you. What do you think makes a good summer movie?
That is a good question. I know summer is usually when they put out a lot of the blockbusters.
I think the idea is that, it's so hot outside, I'll go into the cool theater and watch a movie.
Yeah.
So, and usually you see a lot of, it's the bigger budget movies usually that come out during the summer.
Yeah.
And there's always counter programming that never actually counters it too much. But, the idea is that something else is out there in case you don't want to go watch Fast X, or Fast 10, you might want to watch something else.
For counter programming, there was a time, was it one of the Alvin and Chipmunks movies went up against Star Wars?
Yeah, usually if you're going up something like that, that's a surefire hit. You're usually not going to bring them in.
Yeah.
But supposedly, I want to say on Golden Pond got a lot of repeat business because people were trying to go see, I think it was like a Star Wars movie or something, and they couldn't get in, so they went to see on Golden Pond.
Right.
So, it can help another movie to get people. But nowadays, you're not going to the theater to buy the tickets. You've already bought the tickets at home.
Yeah.
So it kind of changes that whole experience. You don't wait in line like you used to for a movie,
Yeah.
which is good and bad. There's a certain, camaraderie about staying in line for a movie, as opposed to I already got, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're not fighting or hoping you're the one going to get in. You already know.
Yeah.
You've already got your seat picked, and you've already probably ordered your popcorn and soda. It's a very different dynamic nowadays. Yeah, usually they're kind of escapist.
Yeah.
Not necessarily. They're kind of those movies where you try not to think too hard about it because they'll fall apart.
Yeah. Or sometimes you just want to see that kind of movie.
Right. And you don't. And maybe
they don't all have to be Godfather.
And maybe one of the reasons you see a lot of sequels and remakes is that they're trying to feed you something familiar, not trying to make you think too hard. I mean, I don't think anybody's come out of a blockbuster film and gone, oh, wow, I have to really think about it.
Yeah.
Either you like it or you don't.
Yeah.
And usually there's a lot of, it's where you see the big explosions or the big special effects, or and as the special effects get bigger, usually the dialogue gets a little worse.
Yeah.
And usually there's it used to be where there's like 10 or 12 writers on something because they're spending a lot of money. They keep wanting people to go through it.
Yeah.
And then you kind of lose whatever the original idea was sometimes.
Yeah. Although, I mean, I'm surprised when a movie like Guardians 3 is able to also be very poignant.
Yes. Yes, that was, and that's one of the exceptional things, that can happen.
Yeah.
But usually I don't think anybody's going to come away from, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles crying.
Right.
I mean, maybe I'm wrong. Haven't seen the movie, but it just, it doesn't strike me as a,
yeah,
man. Because, I mean, that was one of the things that was nice about Guardians was that it did it was poignant.
Yeah.
And, I guess if they made Last Ronin into a movie, you'd probably have that poignantness.
Yeah.
But I kind of have my doubts they're going to kill off one of the brothers in this one. Yeah. Do you remember what we watched last summer? I'm putting you on the spot here. We didn't rehearse any of this.
I watched so much stuff. I don't
remember any. Which is maybe another thing about it. I usually don't remember the movies as well. Yeah, there's a lot of smaller films that come out during the summer, but the ones people talk about, the ones that you want to see before everybody tells you about it, are usually the big budget ones.
Yeah.
And you want to see it before everybody ruins it for you, or, yeah. So you want to be one of the first people to see something. And that's why I think they kind of go from blockbuster to, I kind of, in some ways they limit, unless something really catches on, your chance of having a lot of repeat business diminishes because there's another blockbuster the following week.
Yeah.
Or maybe in the week where even though I kind of blew past it, Elemental is opening up against something, and there's probably a lot of people that want to go see that.
Yeah.
So, just because we don't really want to doesn't mean it's not going to be a big film. So you can kind of eat yourself at the theater. I mean, if you're two big budget movies going head to head, you try to avoid that usually because you don't want that to suck away half your audience goes to see something else.
Yeah.
And then you kind of limited how big you can be because the next weekend there's another film that people want to go see. And so, I think the idea is you make like a quarter of your money the opening weekend.
Yeah.
And then you try not to drop off, 90% the next one, but you're going to drop off because there's another big movie coming out the next week. So you're hoping that your movie will be the one that lights a fire and, continues on through the summer as a big, the next Jurassic Park or something like that.
Yeah.
So, all right. And the movies that we see, we will be reviewing on
Trophy Unlocked.
And we'll again put a link, which we did on the Star Wars, a link to that here. And next week we're going to get back into comic books. We'll have the book club.
Yes.
In which we'll talk about
Made in Abyss.
Made in Abyss.
Yeah, Made in Abyss.
Okay. It's not in Abyss, but it's.
Made in Abyss. Yeah.
Oh, I thought the title was Made in Abyss.
Made in Abyss.
Okay, I totally missed the N in the title. But yeah, we're reading that for the comic book club. And then the following week is our team meeting,
Yes.
in which Julie Cannon and Trevor Hankins will be guests on the show.
Yeah.
We'll actually talk about Power Squared, which is actually, this is the college.
Yeah.
But anyway, all right.
If you're watching this on YouTube and you like this, leave a like, subscribe if you want to see more, and leave a comment below if you are looking forward to any particular movies in the summer.
Yeah, we'd love to hear from you. All right. Until next time, I'm David Hankins.
I'm Paul Hankins.
And you've been on the air with Power Squared.